Welcome back. As you've learned throughout this course, accessibility isn't just about legal compliance or checking off a box for Title II. It's about building courses that work for real students. Students who use screen readers, students with anxiety or ADHD, students navigating chronic illness, students juggling work, family, and school. And the truth is, accessibility helps everyone. When we use clear headings, readable fonts, organized modules, and meaningful captions, we make it easier for all students to find what they need and stay engaged. Today, we're going to take a few moments to review the principles you've learned throughout this course. Lessons from Module 1. First, we looked at the updated Americans with Disability Act Title II standards, the legal foundation for this training. These aren't optional guidelines anymore. They are enforceable rules for all public colleges and universities, requiring that all digital content be accessible under the WCIG 2.1 AA standard. That includes documents, videos, and LMS course materials. These rules exist because inaccessible content isn't just frustrating, it's a barrier to education. Accessible materials help students succeed. The biggest takeaway from this module is that any document, audio file, or video you share, any tool students are required to use, and any announcement or page in your classroom must be accessible. This is true for both in-person and online courses. If you have older documents that are archived and no longer in use, you do not need to change or fix those, but the law now requires you to fix or replace old materials if they are not accessible. And as you create new materials, you must keep accessibility in mind. You are not responsible for fixing publisher websites, library platforms, or tools outside your control, but you are expected to choose accessible alternatives whenever possible. Lessons from Module 2. In this module, we examined accessibility in Microsoft Word, and we began to see patterns in the tools used to create accessible documents. You learned how to apply headings, write meaningful alt text, and fix the reading order in PowerPoint. Remember that for tables to be accessible, they need clear column headers in the first row. They need to have simple formatting without merged cells or blank rows. For alt text, use short descriptions of what the image contains. Avoid marking images as decorative. Once headings are in place, you can easily create a table of contents for even better document navigation. And once you're done, use the accessibility checker to double-check your work. These small changes make a big difference, and once you get used to them, they're fast and easy. Lessons from Module 3. In the third module, we talked about PDFs, those tricky, often overused files. You now know how to tell whether a PDF should be remediated, recreated, or replaced, and you understand why many PDFs, especially scans or older documents, just aren't accessible at all. Remember that if a PDF was created by photocopying and scanning a book or document, it is not accessible. It cannot be read by screen readers, and often other students may find these difficult to read as well. They often have black markings and illegible fonts. These should be replaced. Other documents can be fixed and remediated. Walk through the steps to make sure your document has proper headings, alt text for images, and has been processed using optical character recognition, otherwise known as OCR. This assures that an image-based PDF has been transformed into a searchable, editable document. And if none of these steps can be taken, recreate a document from the source material if possible. Lessons from Module 4. In the fourth module, you learned about captioning videos, especially on YouTube. You saw why auto captions alone aren't enough and how to upload your own captions or transcript files. Accurate captions aren't just for deaf or hard of hearing students. They also help students learning English, studying in noisy places, or using content in different ways. Here, best practice is to upload a text or SRT file into YouTube to provide captions with timestamps. If this cannot be done, you can provide the text file for YouTube, and it can process it over a few hours to ensure the timing is correct. You can go back into the editor to fix these issues. You can also allow time for auto captions to be put into place. But remember that auto captions do not meet the legal requirements under Title II, and if used, you must go into the platform to fix any errors. Lessons from Module 5. In our last module, we focused on Brightspace. A lot of people assume their course is accessible just because it's digital, but that's not true. You now know how to structure your content clearly. Avoid nesting too many folders. Avoid giving information through images or scanned, inaccessible PDFs. Use meaningful titles for each module. When creating announcements or pages, use proper heading structures, meaningful alt text for images, high contrast font colors, and easy to read sans serif fonts. Ensure that audio files have transcripts and video files have captions. And, as always, use the accessibility checker to double check your work. As you can see, many tools are similar over different platforms and programs, and once you're used to using them, things get easier. These steps and design decisions support every learner. Final thoughts. Finally, we talked about when to ask for help and how to move forward, especially if your college has limited support. Many of us are working with small budgets, outdated tools, or unclear policies. Start with new materials, then move to the items most frequently used or seen. Videos with high traffic, PowerPoint lectures used in multiple sections, handouts you've relied on for years. If you don't have access to a specialist, lean on the basics: headings, alt text, readable documents, clear navigation, alt text, and basic captioning. Do what you can, document what you've done, and keep asking good questions. And remember, you're not alone in this work. If you're taking this course, you have access to downloadable resource sheets for every module. Each one includes examples, walkthroughs, and further reading to keep you going. Accessibility is a journey. You don't have to do everything all at once, but every step you take removes a barrier and opens a door. Thanks for being part of the solution.